You hear that? The sound of bold ideas.
My name is Merel Schöffel and I'm the strategy lead at Humanoids. At Humanoids, we train the next generation of IT talent with a big focus on UX. And we do this by our own traineeships. So every year we get about 300 to 400 applications, and we pick the top talent to actually become the next generation of designers.
My name is Kamiela Vallenduuk. I work here at Humanoids as a team lead, and I have been training our specialists for quite some time now, for over the last years. I worked on the program, how to train, what we do to train the specialists, and I mentor people now within Humanoids.
I think we have a lot of T-shaped designers, so when you start here, you actually get to know like all the aspects of design. So from service design to user interfaces to testing. And because of the quality of the talent and the way we educate them, they can work on really complex challenges. So a lot of people work, for example, for the Port of Rotterdam or big governments. And our services, include the whole UX spectrum. So whatever the challenge is, we always have a designer that's fit for it.
Well, the most important topics that we cover during our traineeship it's very broad. Mainly in our traineeship, we try to focus on all the relevant topics that are part of our work as a designer. So design and pixel pushing in Figma is definitely one of them, but also testing, and then testing in interviews, but also maybe the data part of it. Besides that, we also think a lot about who are you in the organization. You're often a big part on actually getting behind what the problem is of what they're trying to tackle. So for example, facilitation isn't a topic that we try to cover as well. And so it's very broad. We try to cover them all. And then over time, you can also start seeing which of the topics you find most interesting, and we can dive deeper into that as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I hate to bring it up again, but of course AI is the buzzword that everybody is talking about. And of course, in the tech sector, it has a huge impact on how we work and what we do or what we don't do. And because we also train the next generation, it's something that we have to do something with, right? And I see that the role of designers, but also developers, is shifting. So of course back in the days, you actually needed to create a lot of yourself. And what I see now is that a lot of roles are actually becoming way more strategic. So you, as a designer, you really have to know what is right and what is not. And also, for example, communication skills or stakeholder management, or actually getting people along in this process of complex digital changes. So a lot of it, you just become more of a strategist who has a lot of tools and different tools to work with to actually get your design work done. So that's a big change. And another one is that if you're bad or not a really good designer, I think you would also just fall behind. So because of these innovations, you actually also really have to become better at your work, because for everyone it's now easy to create something. So to really make a difference, I think you still need the training and actually really know what's under the hood, so to say.
Well, we know what talent to pick from a large number of talent that actually applies with us. It already starts with the portfolio. That's, I think, a very big part. When you do the first screening, you just look, what did somebody do, but do they also know how to present their work? I think that's a big thing in our work, and I think that's a skill that we're looking for. And besides that, we're also we have our screening process is a lot of talking. It has a couple of rounds where we kind of connect with people. They also have to do an assignment, and then it's not necessarily about the quality of the design that they're presenting, but mostly how do they present the work? How do they talk about it? How do they deal with feedback, for example, that we give on the design? And all these things are a very big part of how we can see who would fit in here and would fit in large organizations to deal with difficult stakeholders and complex problems.
Well, yes, of course, it has an impact, but I also see that in some ways it's still a buzzword, right? Because people can easily say, oh, I want something with AI, woohoo, but which challenge are you actually gonna solve? I know a lot of research also comes out now that a lot of companies think they will save a lot of time, but it's actually not really proving a lot. But I do think as an agency, yeah, you really have to keep your quality up. And if there are other parties who, for example, can do it for way cheaper prices because they innovated their way of working, then you really need to bring something that makes you stand out. And for us, I think because we work in such complex sectors and we don't do like the easy websites, for example, I think those parties who just do like WordPress and some marketing, yeah, then you're gonna have a hard time, right? Because that's something that everyone can do now. But if you work for governments, for example, there are so many parties and stakeholders and very difficult decisions. And there you will always need a human in the loop that can still make those decisions. So for us, I think we're good. But if you're just a marketing party who does WordPress, I would be a bit scared now.
If we look at the world already changing about AI and how it will change in the future, for me, I already see it changing. From the moment I started working in the field, it has already changed and AI will become a bigger part of it. I think design is, of course, a very broad word, and I think it's good that it is very broad because it's not only, it is creating for me, design. And now we're maybe as a UX designer creating screens, but it's not only creating screens, you also create solutions and they're a little bit larger than the actual end product. So that part is something that we will keep on designing. For me, designing is also, for example, designing a workshop that you will do together with your stakeholders, a creative workshop where you kind of get that creative juices flowing, all of you together, and that's also creating something. So design for me is always that creating part, and I think that will, like, what you actually will create might change, but that will always be part of it. And I think that creativity, that is very important, and I think that we can bring that to organizations as a designers. We can keep on bringing that.
Well, I'm gonna touch on the topic of AI, but I'm also gonna touch on AGI, so artificial general intelligence, and a bit of the myth about it. To give you a snippet, there are a few things crucial in learning, so also in training and also in teams. People need room to explore, so actually create new ideas, being able to make mistakes, and then you can exploit. So that is a way of structuring information, getting resources, actually doing the work. And the third really important one is care. People cannot learn, cannot try new things if the care structure isn't there. And you have this research done on mouse, where you have a little mouse and it can go one way and it will get a shock, and the other way and it won't get a shock. And the thing is, it will only take risk when the mother is present. So my talk will be about how we still get this care in our companies and also in training new specialists, because that's something that worries me. You see, there are now 30% less junior jobs. So, and on the other hand, everybody's looking for seniors. So how do we create this infrastructure that we still create seniors and actually the specialists of the future? That's what I'll be sharing.